The American Athletic Conference is an American Collegiate Athletic Conference, featuring 14 member universities that compete in the National Collegiate Athletic Association's Division I, with its football teams competing in the Football Bowl Subdivision, the highest levels for athletic competition in U.S. collegiate sports. Member universities represent a range of well-regarded private and public universities of various enrollment sizes located primarily in urban metropolitan areas in the Northeastern, Midwestern, Western, and Southern regions of the United States. The American was considered one of the 6 collegiate power conferences of the Bowl Championship Series. With the advent of the college football playoff in 2014, the American will become a part of the group of 5 conferences, which share automatic access to one spot in the 6 Premier Bowl games. The American, however, remains a power conference in men's basketball, and is home to the reigning national champions. Founded in 1979, the league underwent substantial turmoil during the 2010 Euro 13 NCAA conference realignment period, and is one of 2 successors to the all-sports Big East Conference. While the other successor, which does not sponsor football, purchased the Big East Conference name, the American Athletic Conference inherited the old Big East structure and is that conference's legal successor. However, both conferences claim 1979 as their founding date, and the same history up to 2013. The American is headquartered in Providence, Rhode Island, and led by Commissioner Michael Oresco. History: the original Big East. The original Big East Conference was founded in 1979 as a basketball conference and included the colleges of Providence, St. John's, Georgetown, and Syracuse, which in turn invited Connecticut, Holy Cross, Rutgers, and Boston College to be members. UConn and Boston College would accept the invitation, while Holy Cross soon thereafter declined the invitation, and Rutgers eventually declined and remained in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Seton Hall was then invited as a replacement, and the conference started play with 7 members. Villanova and Pittsburgh joined shortly thereafter under the leadership of the Big East's first commissioner, Dave Gavitt. The conference remained largely unchanged until 1991, when it began to sponsor football, adding Miami as a full member, and Rutgers, Temple, Virginia Tech, and West Virginia as football-only members. Rutgers and West Virginia upgraded to full Big East membership in 1995, while Virginia Tech did the same in 2000. Temple football was kicked out after the 2004 season, but rejoined in 2012 and intended to become a full Big East member in 2013. The unusual structure of the Big East, with the football and non-football schools, led to instability in the conference. The waves of defection and replacement brought about by the conference realignments of 2005 and 2010 Euro 13 revealed tension between the football sponsoring and non-football schools that eventually led to the split of the conference in 2013. Realignment and reorganization. The conference was reorganized following the tumultuous period of realignment that hobbled the Big East between 2010 and 2013. The Big East was one of the most severely impacted conferences during the most recent conference realignment period. In all, 14 member schools announced their departure for other conferences, and 15 other schools announced plans to join the conference. 3 of the latter group later backed out of their plans to join. Most notably, 7 schools the Catholic 7 announced in December 2012 that they would leave as a group, later forming the new Big East. On December 15, 2012, the Big East 7 remaining non-FBS schools, all Catholic institutions DePaul, Georgetown, Marquette, Providence, St. John's, Seton Hall, and Villanova announced that they voted unanimously to leave the Big East Conference, effective June 30, 2015. The Catholic 7, by leaving, were looking for a more lucrative television deal than the one they would receive by remaining with the football schools. In March 2013, representatives of the Catholic 7 announced they would leave the conference effective June 30, 2013, retaining the Big East name, $10 million, and the right to hold the conference's basketball tournament at Madison Square Garden. Following the announcement of the departure of the Catholic 7 universities, The remaining 10 football-playing members started the process of selecting a new name for the conference and choosing a new site to hold its basketball tournament. Various names were considered, with the America 12 Conference reportedly one of the finalists until rejected by college presidents sensitive of adding a number to the end of the conference name. On April 3, 2013, the conference announced that it had chosen a new name, the American Athletic Conference. The league also revealed that it prefers the nickname the American. It was thought AAC would cause too much confusion with the Atlantic Coast Conference. Louisville and Rutgers spent one season in the renamed conference. On July 1, 2014, Louisville joined the ACC and Rutgers joined the Big Ten Conference. On that same day, East Carolina, Tulane, and Tulsa joined the American for all sports, while Sacramento State and San Diego State joined as associate members for women's rowing. Navy will join as an associate member in football on July 1, 2015. Commissioners, membership timeline. Member universities. The conference currently has 11 full member institutions and 3 associate members in 10 states, including California, Connecticut, Florida, Louisiana, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Texas. In 2015, the conference will include 15 universities in 11 states. The geographic domain of the conference will stretch from California to Connecticut and from Connecticut to Florida. Current members, associate members, future associate member, the Naval Academy will join in 2015 as a football-only member, bringing the conference's football-playing schools up to 12. Former members, 2 members have departed from the conference. Sports, the American sponsors championship competition in 10 men's and 11 women's NCAA-sanctioned sports. Sacramento State, San Diego State University, and Villanova University are associate members for women's rowing. Conference members who sponsor women's lacrosse and field hockey compete as associate members of the Big East. Under NCAA rules reflecting the large number of male scholarship participants in football and attempting to address gender equity concerns, each member institution is required to provide more women's varsity sports than men's. Men-sponsored sports by school, men's varsity sports not sponsored by the American which are played by conference schools, women's-sponsored sports by school, women's varsity sports not sponsored by the American which are played by conference schools, football. The conference began football during the 1991 Euro 92 season, and was a founding member of the Bowl Championship Series. The American teams play 8 conference games a season. Conference opponents operate on a 2-year cycle, as a home-and-home series. The conference does not have enough teams to form divisions, but will in 2015 when Navy joins the conference. When Navy joins in 2015 and divisions are created, Navy will be placed in the West Division along with Houston, Memphis, SMU, Tulane, and Tulsa. The division winners will then meet in the American Athletic Conference Football Championship game, which will be played at the home site of the higher-ranked team. Like the conference itself, football experienced much transition through its history. In fact it was the main force behind such departures and expansion. In 2003, the BCS announced that it would adjust the automatic bids granted to its 6 founding conferences based on results from 2004 Euro 07. With the addition of Cincinnati, Louisville, and South Florida in 2005, the conference retained its BCS automatic qualifying status. In 2007, South Florida rose to number 2 in the BCS rankings, but finished number 21 in the final poll. Cincinnati finished the 2009 regular season undefeated at 12 Euro 0, and ranked number 3 in the final BCS standings, barely missing the opportunity to play for the BCS National Championship. The conference was 9 Euro 7 in BCS bowl games, the 3rd highest winning percentage amongst the AQ conferences. All-time school records by winning percentage, this list goes through the 2013 American Athletic Conference football season. Conference champions. Conference rivalries. The American has many rivalries among its member schools, primarily in football. Some rivalries existed before the conference was established or began play in football. Recent conference realignment in 2005 and 2013 ended a Euro, or temporarily halted a Euro many rivalries. Before their departure to other conferences, a number of former member schools held long-time rivalries within the conference. Some of the rivalries between the American schools include bowl games. Following the 2013 season, the BCS era came to a close. With the birth of the college football playoff, the American lost its automatic qualifying status for one of the major bowls. Under the playoff, 4 teams will play in 2 semi-final games, with the winners advancing to the new college football championship game. 6 bowl games a Euro: the Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Orange Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, and Peach Bowl a Euro will rotate as hosts for the semi-final games, and host major bowls when they do not host semi-final games. 1 automatic qualifying spot is reserved for the highest-ranked team from the group of 5 conferences: the American, Conference USA, the Mid-American Conference, Mountain West Conference, and Sun Belt Conference. Although the pick order usually corresponds to the conference standings, the bowls are not required to make their choices strictly according to the won-lost records. Many factors influence bowl selections, especially the likely turnout of the team's fans. Picks are made after any applicable college football playoff selections. If a team is selected for one of the Access Bowls or playoff, the bowl with a number 2 pick will have the first pick of the remaining teams in the conference. Head football coach compensation. The total pay of head coaches includes university and non-university compensation. This includes base salary, income from contracts, foundation supplements, bonuses and media and radio pay. Conference individual honors. Coaches and media of the American award individual honors at the end of each football season. Men's basketball. In June 2013, it was announced that the inaugural men's basketball tournament will take place at FedEx Forum in Memphis. FedEx Forum had previously hosted 8 Conference USA basketball tournaments. Even though the Big East Conference was meant to be a basketball-oriented conference, the 2014 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship was won by UConn, a member of the American. All-time school records by winning percentage. This list goes through the 2013 Euro 14 season. Conference champions. Women's basketball. In June 2013, it was announced that the inaugural women's basketball tournament will take place at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Women's basketball teams have played a total of 18 times in the NCAA Women's Division I Basketball Championship, with UConn winning 9 national championships under head coach Gino Auriemma since 1995. Women's national championship tournaments prior to 1982 were run by the AIAW. All-time school records by winning percentage. This list goes through the 2013 Euro 14 season. Conference champions. Facilities. The institution highlighted in gray will join the conference on July 1, 2015. Academics. One of the current member schools, Tulane University, is a member of the Association of American Universities, an organization of 62 leading research universities in the United States and Canada. 6 members are doctorate-granting universities with very high research activity, the highest classification given by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching. Member schools are also highly ranked nationally and globally by various groups, including U.S. News & World Report, Washington Monthly, and Times Higher Education. Media. As of 2014, the American has carriage agreements with the following broadcast and cable networks. Television. ESPN on ABC broadcasts select football games. CBS Sports Network carries select men's basketball games. ESPN broadcasts football, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other sports across its networks. ESPN broadcasts the men's and women's basketball tournament, the baseball championship game, the championship game for select Olympic sports, and will broadcast the football championship game beginning in 2015. Internet. ESPN Plus allows for the transmission of events through ESPN Mobile, ESPN3, and on-demand platforms. American Digital Network broadcasts most conference events that are otherwise not televised. See also, List of NCAA conferences, Big East Conference, Notes. References. External links, official website, American Athletic Conference on Facebook, American Athletic Conference on Twitter.